I'm
Yo,
back.
we started
Just in
stream.
time. Alright.
So they've started with 14 drivers.
Oh, what?
Um, so straight to Q2, I guess.
It will be.
I don't know why he's
Tell
not
everyone
just
to
done a short
retire.
quali.
Hmm. Just going to tell them all to retire.
I don't know. Oh, that's a very good point from Anthony, to be fair. Champions League starts today, and it's Monaco.
Hmm.
But just,
Oh, yeah. No, the first games were yesterday.
yeah, alright, but as in all
But yeah,
Liverpool
for most
fans.
teams. Yeah. Oh, yeah, fair. Yeah.
I can't remember last time today, it's Liverpool and Spurs.
Hmm. Yeah, and I mean, some Barcelona maybe.
I'm going to go with that's why Brandon's not racing either, the championship leader.
Oh. Oh, yeah. Didn't know if we didn't have anything today.
Yeah, I'm going to guess it's because Tottenham are playing, and he's so far ahead of the championship he doesn't need to race.
Oh, everyone just retire.
Right, so is everyone just going to retire from Q1?
No, we got the Ferrari coming out for quite a few cars.
Okay, I think he needs to do a slow lap and then retire. So you just need to set a lap time, and then we'll get through to Q2. Somebody has joined to make it 15. It might have been Zetu, the last driver to join.
Or someone still crash.
It wouldn't surprise me. Look how slowly Teaser's going just to make sure he gets round.
It is a tricky track.
Adman needs to be careful here behind Rob J. Lewis, because Rob keeps on accelerating and then braking.
And he's very close. Just surely give him space, just for safety. Just get around. Some people have stayed in the pit.
Alvaro's just finishing his coffee and then he's going to do his lap. Jake's on
The
an
lap
out
coming.
lap. Fanth hasn't
Fanth.
come out yet, neither has Newlap. Oh, the lighting there from like Sergio Silva's point of view. They need to fix that. He was going down into the hairpin and it was just blinding.
Oh, you know, I was racing earlier, I can't remember where, and the sun was just straight in your face, you cannot see.
There's
Especially if you
yellows.
have the line on. Yellow sector 3. Is it just people slowing down before starting their lap?
Yeah, I'd assume so.
And it's Adman before his lap, just to get some space between him and Rob J. Quite a bit of space as well. In the dark, the track looks wet. It's really putting me off.
Haunted is going very slowly here just to make sure he gets this done. He's just left to let his teammate go past.
It'll be interesting to see who's pushing for it now. Oh, Jake the lad. Oh wait, no, he's starting his lap now. Before he invalidated. Doesn't matter if they invalidate, does it?
I don't know, but I am going to say, I don't know what the steward's going to say, but it is illegal in F1's rules to go out on intermediate tyres when it's dry.
Who has done that?
Jake.
Oh yeah, for some reason my... Oh. Very interesting.
That is interesting.
Oh, 114 for ties. Bad boy 113.
Zetti's just been given a 5-place grid penalty.
For illegal blocking. What? Who's he? Was that on Rob J. Lewis?
I don't know. I don't know. There's a Ferrari behind him, a bad boy, man.
Very interesting.
I don't know what he did.
Where has this come from? I wasn't watching them, so I don't know.
I don't even have the stream chat up.
Oh, yeah, no, neither. Oh, I'll see now.
I do apologise to anyone that's speaking in the chat. It's loading now.
Yeah, I'm right now, but you won't get anything through until through then.
So, Niels is leading Q1 in a McLaren. You'd imagine that's enough to get through to Q2. How's Jake's lap going?
Tyre now. He's just going for it.
It's a 1:17.5 on the intermediates.
Rob J. And Haunted Curse, who took a very slow lap. Just to make sure he got around. We got Zetty just finishing this lap now. Ferrari coming out now to do his
new
lap.
Congratulations, everyone. Everyone's made it without crashing. Alvaro still yet to come out.
Oh, we cannot be waiting. Oh no, he's coming out now. I think. Yeah, he is. That's good. I was gonna say I don't not want to be waiting another 10 minutes.
Here comes Fan to start his hot lap. He's pushing. Car in front. Alvaro, no, Alvaro, and you like needs to go. Wait, who's that? Is it Jake?
I think that's it's Adman.
Oh, Adman. He needs to get out of the way.
He's coming up to the head, which is a tricky place to get out of the way as well. He's done well there.
I'm not sure he has. He's lost a lot of time there, Fan.
Oh.
Didn't look good. Let's have a look at the sector 2 split when he comes across. Oh, it says purple, so maybe he did. The Alfa Romeo though. Alvaro, that is poor.
Yeah, it's not great. Alvaro's used all of his ERS on his outlap. Not that it matters too much, because they're all true anyway.
And he's invalidated.
That was... Did they touch?
Adman has stayed out here to do another lap.
Zetu hasn't pitted either.
I think Zetu's only just finished his lap. I think he's on his in lap.
So he's got 3 laps done on his tyre, so he's done at least an extra one.
Oh. New lap.
Oh, Napoli won the lap.
Napoli, yeah, they went up early. James Milner handballed it to give away a penalty.
But we just need Alvaro now to finish. Zetu has gone into the pits, as you said.
New lap is still out there pushing. He's just set a fastest sector 1 of the session on these used soft tyres. He's got not much ERS to finish his lap though.
In the pit. Everyone entering the pit now. Just got Alvaro and Mila.
Alvaro just needs to do a lap. Invalidated laps do not count.
Sure, you just take it slow, get your lap done, move on.
There's only 14 drivers now. There were 15 at the start of the session, weren't there?
Yeah, that's what this is. I'm so confused. Has someone left?
Wouldn't their car still be there though?
I don't know. I'm checking the race director, and it says 14 on there as well.
Alvaro, you need to complete a lap. Invalidated laps do not count, I believe.
It's invalidated again.
He just completely cut the chicane.
Maybe he's pitting.
Yeah, I think he thinks he's through. I think he's about to retire, but I'm not sure if this is going to count.
If this bottles it for him,
We'll
it'll be
see.
very interesting.
Right, Adman just needs to retire now.
Come on, tag him. Let him know.
He has retired.
There we go.
Right, tease with the 5-second penalty, 5 place grid penalty, sorry, for blocking somebody. We're not sure who.
We've also got Alvaro, who we are not 100% sure if he's able to take part in Q2.
And Jake
Not
completed his
setting a
lap
lap.
on the Inters, which the FIA will take a look at. Right, let's see. Will Alvaro be able to take part here in Q2? Rob J. Lewis is claiming naughtiness. I'm not sure who from, but
Could be to do with the intermediate tyres. That's the only thing I can think that was naughty. Or
Alvaro.
he too.
Is able to take part. He is.
There we are then. So, actual laps count now.
4 will be eliminated before we get the top 10 shootout.
Who will we see leave the pit first? I reckon it'll be the Williams of T's.
Will we see a first Q3 appearance of the season for Rob J. Lewis?
Ferrari out first.
No, you were right.
Oh,
Williams
no,
got out before him.
Front.
Yeah.
It was T's. And the Haas is in front now of Rob J. Lewis of Bad Boy Man.
Zetu taking the outlap very slowly. Not many drivers left in the pit garages now.
About half and half, I want to say. Maybe a few more out on track. All being led around by the Williams. You definitely want to try and find as much space on this track as possible away from people.
Yes, you do. Coming out first is a great advantage for the Williams and the Haas at the end of the pit lane.
I reckon we'll see a couple of yellow sector 3s just from people slowing down.
Although he's hit the wall there. Has he got damage?
Is that T's? I did
Yeah.
not see it.
going
wing
through the
still
swimming pool.
looks on. But he is starting his lap now, going down and start finish straight.
Oh, big snap of oversteer on the exit of turn 1.
And now he may need to be wary for Bad Boy Man right behind him on his lap.
That's that on his out lap.
Oh, that's alright then.
However, here comes Rob J. Lewis in the Haas.
The Rebel. Fountain is also on a hot lap with an 18.5 first sector. It came up as purple, but not 100% sure if it will be.
There's yellow flags in sector 1 for an Alpine. That's Adman Trev travelling slowly. I don't know if he was just letting cars by or whether he did have a moment on his lap.
Falcon's got very close to the wall there, but he's really pushing it, you can see already.
The focus is on Rob J. Lewis here, going through the final 2 corners. He's hit the wall.
Falcon has caught up to him as well. This will be a good lap from Falconus, yeah. 110.8, that's a great lap.
And in football related news, Liverpool have conceded a second penalty to Napoli.
Yeah, oh wow. Barcelona also won the lap with their new signing of Frank Kessie.
Who's on the lap here? Alvaro and Jake are both invalidated. Newlat is on a lap in the Ferrari. Just starting sector 2.
He would have had to go past Rob J as well. So I wonder if he lost time through that. Bad Boy Man is also on a lap. We have Zetu off. Oh,
penalty
he's just
saved.
Letting people go.
Newlat has had a bad last couple of corners.
On my screen, Bad Boy Man has got a purple middle sector.
Newlat with a 1:13.1, very slow, slower than the Williams.
The Alfa Romeo's just getting in the way here. Maybe. Slow.
Bad Boy Man out of VRS here. Only P6.
People are 2 seconds quicker than Fonius is the next driver.
And you'd imagine the Ferrari car was built for this track compared to the Red Bull.
Or yeah, and you'll see a Mercedes up there as well. A bit tighter of a battle, hopefully, as Jake the lad has invalidated as well, and is so entering the pit.
Haunted Curse, I assume, is on his second run because he's out of hot lap. Whether he finishes this lap or goes into the pits, we will see.
Adman as well, and if he's making his way around on his out lap.
Haunted will finish his lap. Opens up DRS on the main straight. Newlat with a 1:10.5. That's much better from the Ferrari driver.
That is a very quick lap there. Alvaro is going to make it down to the line now. Oh, he spins it! He spins it around the last corner. He's in a very tricky position now to get out of this, making sure no one's near him.
He does well.
Done very well there. Is that, you'd assume that's damage, it was quite a hard hit, but the Mercedes now behind him.
It's like he doesn't.
He's done very well there. Can't see if he's got damage.
Niels is going slowly here in prep for his fast lap. Let's go on boards with him for this lap. He gets a poor exit onto the main straight. keeps it in 5th around that long left-hander. In fact, he's kept it in 5th for all of this. Make sure he doesn't spin it.
I want to curse now in the pit. He's on an in-lap maybe. In that Williams putting it P4, by the way, did not see that.
That's a very good lap from Tees. And the Aston Martin in P5. Both very noticeable.
Shake about grid here.
This is looking like a good lap here in the McLaren from Niels. As he goes through the swimming pool, may touch the wall there, but it's still fast. There's a Mercedes in the way though of Cyclo.
Ifney has set himself up very nicely for a great exit to start his lap now.
It wasn't Cyclo, sorry, it was Jake the Lad, and that puts Niels P4. I wonder how much time he lost in the final 2 corners to the Mercedes, with Jake the Lad blocking him. And Tees in the Williams improves even further up to P3.
That's a phenomenal lap.
And Niels in the McLaren has broken his front wing on his way back to the pit lane.
He's on a very good lap here. It seems he's got very nice control on his car. He's 2 seconds up in the first sector on his old time, which you'd expect a good lap in this Red Bull. Making his way around this last sector. His back end looked a little bit like he wanted to step out there, and again would have lost him a little bit of time there. Making his way around the last corner. DRS open, that was very close to the wall. Where's it going to put him?
Only P7. He is 2 seconds down on his teammate. He won't be happy with that at all.
Very big split between those front 2 drivers and the Williams. A second between them.
Adman Trev going through the final corner around about now. No, he's not. He's dived into the pit lane.
Everyone in the pit now. Sergio Silva and Alvaro on their outlaps. And we'll see Ifney go into the pits now after this lap. Bad Boy Man now exiting the pit lane, out on his outlap. Alvaro going around the last corner to start his flying lap. Let me go if I can section 1. No, that's nothing. Here we are, Alvaro. Taking it a little bit wide for that first corner.
Doesn't cut any of that curb. Keeping this nice and tidy. Oh, back end snapped out.
That has probably ruined his lap for him.
In normal circumstances, I would agree, but a 13.9 is all that's needed to beat P10 here and get through to Q3. So,
did not see that. Yeah, that's true. He has not pulled out of it, to be fair, so he must know. And he's going to keep going for it.
He just needs to put in a lap time anyway, because a 1:26.6 isn't good enough to compete.
Most drivers are out on track now.
As Alvaro comes up to the line, and it is a 1:13.2, puts him 7/10 clear of the drop zone.
I'm on board with Zetti, who is on his flying lap, who is in the danger zone here. In P10, he is only slightly quicker, just under a 10th on his old time.
And Sergio Silva, who's also in the same situations, invalidated his hot lap, sorry.
Oh, he's touched the wall there a little bit, Zetti. That would have lost him quite a bit of time.
Yeah, he's backed out.
Pulls out. Yeah.
Bad boy man is going around the final corner now in his
8 tenths
Ferrari.
up.
Ferrari cannot go out in Q2. Surely not. He only improves to P9.
That is not where you want to see a Ferrari. Bad Boy Man will not be comfortable now, as we will be seeing Zetu starting another lap. He's still got Sergio Silva to set a lap that has not been invalidated.
Jake the lad thinks he's through in P6 with a 1:12.2. That
Zetu will start his another lap in P11. Oh no,
he's going for another warm-up lap. He's got 3.2 laps of fuel on board. So he has time and he has the fuel. Rob J. Lewis is in the pits. Will he have time to go into his garage and come back out before the lights go red?
He's on a hot lap, but is a 10th down throughout the first sector, which is not what you want to be seeing when you are bottom.
Zetu taking his lap very slowly. The out lap for him, basically. Cyclo is pushing across the line now. Was P4 and is now P3 with a great improvement of 8 tenths.
10th slower. He does not look like he's going to be getting or battling in that top 10. He just doesn't seem to know when to put the throttle down, and he has no ERS either. So he does not move. He was 2 tenths quicker, but
Rob is coming out of the pits. He's got 1 minute 27 to complete a lap. Start his hot lap.
Really gone for it in this last sector. Oh, and he spun it. His wing's gone.
Alvaro is going to finish with a 1:13.2 on the verge of being knocked out in Q2.
And we're going to see Zetu go around the last corner. This could make or break Alvaro's race here, or getting into Q3. He takes a bit too much curb there and hit the wall, so it's not a great exit. This is his last chance to get the Aston Martin into Q3.
Which in itself would be impressive.
It will be very impressive, but we do still see the Williams of T's up in P4, which is a phenomenal lap. This back end of Zetu seems to be battling him a little bit here. He is 3 tenths up on his time. He needs 7 tenths to get into Q3.
How much time can he find in the remainder of sector 2 and sector 3?
And the yellow flag in sector 3. It looks like Rob J. Lewis.
Starting
He's
his
just
lap.
going slow, I think.
Yeah, but he's now risked not starting his lap in time. Is he going to make it to the line? He has just with 2 seconds to go.
8 tenths up. He is on a good lap. This will maybe, hopefully.
Tees has crashed out. Tees has crashed out of qualifying.
Oh no! There's. I want to see Cyclo. I want to see the crash.
Tees did not need to push.
He's just binned it. Zetu, the Aston Martin has gone P9.
Incredible.
That is also a very good lap, getting that Aston Martin in. Tees has really done well on himself there, really. In the Williams was P4 and has dropped himself to P10.
What can Rob J. Lewis do here in the Haas? Can he do anything to get himself out of Q2?
Walter Curse is also on a lap. No, he's not. He's 3 seconds down.
It's all on Rob J. Lewis. Can he find a way to get this Haas out of Q2 and into Q3? Looking good. He's taken a wide line.
Just did not get on the throttle quick enough there. But as he makes it to the line,
He's not improved.
no, he's 4 tenths slower. That is it then. For Q3. Just need Haunted Curse to get in the pit.
Only 9 drivers will take part, with Tees crashing out.
That is a massive upset there for the Williams driver. He was looking very quick. But hopefully we'll see him make his way through.
Yeah, that's fair enough, Rob. He had a damaged wing. Not much more he could do. And it's
Yeah,
2-0 to Napoli.
that is not ideal either for Liverpool. That is not Bayern Munich, 1-0 up against Inter Milan, if anyone cares.
That's a good point, actually. I'm going to have a quick look at the roundup. Barca 1-0 up.
Who scored that for Napoli? Because there was a deal that was going to happen between
That was
Ronaldo.
Anguissa.
Oh, I wanted to see if Osimhen scored because I think there was
Osimhen
a
missed the
deal.
penalty.
Ah,
It was saved
United
by
have
Alisson.
missed the bullet there. Van Dijk's already on a yellow, so is Milner.
Yeah, they were the two that conceded the penalties.
Oh wow.
Milner didn't get the yellow for the penalty, to be fair. Milner did a horrendous tackle about a minute later.
Yeah, well, he wouldn't be happy
But
with that. So
let's turn our attention back to the F1 here. Not the time for football. Who will we see on pole? Who's your shout for pole here?
I think Nula. He is looking quick. We'll go, yeah, Nula.
I am going to pick out Fanthonius in the Red Bull.
See, I was thinking that, but I think like the Ferrari's just got that extra bit of advantage with their car, just to get that extra speed.
You can't argue with that, to be fair. Right, we're going to ride on board with Bad Boy Man next. First one out on track.
Followed by the McLaren and the Alpine of Adman. The Mercedes of, I believe, Cyclo. And the Red Bull of Fanthonius.
And Nila and Jake are making their way out of the pits now, followed
Everyone
by
is
Ifni.
making their way out of the pit. Apart from the
Zetu
Aston
may
Martin.
only have one fresh set of softs left if he's not coming out yet.
I would still go out on old softs, surely, just for a lap, get a lap in, just in case anyone else messes up, and go for it in the last one. But there, you got a lot more space now in this Q3 with only 9 drivers on track. Hopefully no interruptions. What you can hope for.
Right, here we go then. Bad Boy Man start his flying lap. Gets on the power nice and early, opens up the DRS. Works his way through the gears, into turn 1 we go. How much curb does he take? A lot. It's a very good corner for him. As he accelerates up the hill. Down into 5th. Down to 4th. Avoid that little hill. Down to 2nd there. Keeps it tight to the wall. Through the very, very tight hairpin. Does well to keep that going and carry such speed. Almost invalidates it on that curb.
Has back and step out quite a bit there.
Now he flies through the tunnel section. Braking downhill. And he's hit the wall. He's taken off part of his front wing, you'd imagine there. He is going to keep the lap going. But the understeer, as you can see, is crazy.
Jake the lad was out on his outlap and went straight back into the pit, so I don't know if he hit a wall, maybe got a bit of damage on his way out. But he went straight back to the pit lane.
Let's ride on board here with Niels as he completes the final sector of his lap. Bad Boy Man with a 1:13.0 after hitting the wall and gaining a lot of damage. New lap will cross the line with a 1:11.8. Adman goes P2. Fanthonius across the line now. P1 with a 1:10.4.
That's a phenomenal lap.
1.4 seconds ahead of P2.
There's Nula is finishing his lap now. Can we see him compete against that phenomenal lap from the Red Bull?
It's looking even better here from Newlap. It's a 1:10.3.
That is a tenth quicker.
As he takes provisional pole. from the Red Bull driver. Ifni has invalidated his lap. So he will go again on the same set of tyres. You'd imagine he's got more than enough fuel on board.
Will his ERS is 57% enough for a
Newlat
lap?
has crashed out. Newlat has crashed out at the same place that Tees did. Wait, has he? He's just retired on the track.
Niels. Yeah.
How
What's he
strange.
done? I see Newlat go past him in a second. He does not seem to. He was just in the middle, wasn't he? He
was,
a
yeah.
wheel left, so it looks like he has lost a wheel there.
Interesting. Right, Ifni, low on ERS here after sector 1. Needs to set a bank lap at the very minimum.
Zetu, it will come down to Zetu's one lap. So, oh, actually, no, he's coming out now. So,
Just wants to be different to the rest of the group.
No, he's looking for that fresh air.
Yeah, there is a tyre in the middle of the track, so you would imagine that was Niels. I apologise. Ifni has invalidated his lap again, so you'd imagine he just dives into the pits at the end of this lap.
Yeah, he will
So,
not have enough.
That will leave Zetu as the only driver out on track.
I'll be very impressed if we see any other drivers near that top 2.
Especially not an Aston Martin driver.
Oh yeah. You maybe see a Mercedes kind of near there, but not. There's some unbelievable laps.
Well, Jake the Lad is
take
now
his
out
time
on track,
coming out
as
there.
is the Ferrari of Bad Boy Man. So more drivers are coming out here very early for their second run.
Yeah.
Adman Trev's making his way out of the pit lane as well.
Zetu does love to take his time on his outlaps, don't he?
Really does. He's overfueled his car by 4 laps as well. So maybe we'll see 2 runs in 1 here.
Caution in case he invalidates on his first lap.
He's going so slowly, he's setting off yellow flags.
I do suspect he's only got one set of tyres though, so
here we go.
Want to make this count.
DRS wide open as he starts his first flying lap of Q3. Through turn 1, he invalidates. That's why he's got the extra fuel on board.
If they're coming up behind him.
Tension turns to Jake the Lad, who's about to start his lap. He gets on the power much, much earlier than Zetu could in this Mercedes. He doesn't invalidate, but he does hit the wall after a snap of oversteer that he tried to correct. Has he got any wing damage? Doesn't appear so. He's not understeering through this corner.
He seems to have held that decently for it being quite a hard track, and it doesn't look like he's lost too much time.
It's a purple sector 1 apparently.
Wow, yeah. I've got that on mine as well. We'll have to see.
As he arrives at the tunnel section, he must be quite happy with his lap so far.
Bad Boy Man behind him as well on a hot lap.
Downhill braking, very difficult to keep this on track. As we've seen,
he's hit the wall. Bad Boy Man has hit the wall. That will be his lap done, I reckon. Oh, he's still going for it.
Jake the Lad's hit the wall twice. He must have wing damage now, surely, and he's invalidated for good measures.
Bad Boy Man has pulled out of his lap. He's cut the chicane completely. He's going. I reckon he's going to try and get back in the pit lane.
Adman Trev is the next driver who's on a legitimate lap here, as he goes through the Nouveau chicane.
Going around the last corner to start his lap, but he does have. Oh no, the Ferrari's pulled out. So that's fine. Zetu had a snap of oversteer into the last corner, so did not get the best exit. Got the Mercedes of Cyclo exiting the pit lane.
Adman Trev now opens DRS on the main straight. He's got no teammate of Xavi today to carry the team, and he gets P3. That's brilliant in the Alpine. That is exactly where he wants to be, beating his rivals there in McLaren and Mercedes.
That is a sort of lap you would see Xavi do. So
that is
man really stepping up now without his teammate.
When he needs to become the leader, he is. That's a phenomenal job from the Alpine. Thank you very much,
having quite
Alvaro.
a smooth lap here.
Alvaro's not happy that Zetu tricked him into thinking he was safe before then pulling 9/10. As Ifni now crosses the line. P3, it's a 2-3 here for the Red Bull. Is Fantonius coming out the pits? Not yet. He's leaving this late. Newlat is on his way out. In fact, he's starting his lap now, is Newlat.
I'm not sure. Zetu, though, going around the last corner. Where is he going to put this Aston Martin?
Can he lift it off the bottom spot?
Get him in here through.
It's not a great looking lap so far. It's only P8 and Jake the Lad still hasn't set a lap time here.
It is 3/10 off the next driver.
Can Newlat improve his pole time here?
Is Zetu going to do another lap? I can't see. How long do you have left? I can't see.
We have 2 minutes 30 left.
You might see Zetu take a slow lap around and try and get another one, but he does have the Mercedes coming up behind him. Moved out the way very nicely for Cyclo there, who is 300th up on his time.
Newlat is flying here.
We'd love to see.
As he dives through the swimming pool.
He's taking that very nicely.
Into Raskas.
Cyclo has pulled out of his lap.
Newlat now,
I don't know why.
he is down by a lot actually. He backed out. So now he's starting his flying lap. And Fantonius is out on his out lap. He's going through the sector 2 hairpin right now.
Adman has retired in the pit lane.
He didn't think he had time to get back out then. Same with Ifni.
Ifni also, yeah.
But on board with Newlat here. He's down by almost 2/10.
Cyclo coming to the line, 4/10 down, so I'm reckoning he's going to start his fast lap now. Yes, he does.
Yes.
Bad Boy Man a 10th down after the first sector. Oh, and he's hit the wall coming out of the hot tub chicane. I would have lost him a bit of time.
Here comes Newlat.
Zetu starting another lap as I suspected. Jake the Lab trying to complete his first lap.
Newlat with the fastest sector 2 of the session.
He's almost a 10th up on his time.
Round the final corner. Needs to open DRS. Can he improve? It's a 1:10 flat. Fantonius needs to improve by 4/10. Let's watch his lap. This is the battle of pole. He's hit the wall.
Oh,
he's hit the wall and got damage. Fantonius will not take pole. Cyclo is up on his time. Oh, he's lost it.
Bad Boy Man.
Cyclo's lost it in the final sector. He is round.
5/10 up on his time as well. That's not what he would have wanted.
And
to
no
see.
drivers left have much ERS. And it's 3-0 to Napoli.
Oh wow, that is not what they would want to be seeing. Oh, that's it. Yeah, that is what I think will be the end.
Yeah, there's no improvements happening here.
Jake the Lad, no, he's got no ERS.
Ifni's happy with P2 and P3 there for Red Bull. They can really use the strategy here with Bad Boy Man only P8 in the second Ferrari.
They will have the Mercedes to get past. And a very quick Alpine of Adman. It will be tricky. That's Jake the Lad and Bad Boy Man. Bad Boy Man finished his lap. Jake the Lad entering the pit. So that is Q3. We have the Ferrari of Newlat starting pole. And then a 2-3 from the Red Bulls, which will play into their hand very nicely around this track where strategy comes into play very, very much. Then we have a very good lap from Adman in P4 in the Alpine, just ahead of the McLaren. I cannot remember who was next. I think it was Cyclo or Jake the Lad. The two Mercedes were next. As you can see, the standings there. The Ferrari was 3 tenths quicker than the following Red Bull of Anthonius. But the Red Bull will be very happy with their position here. I do not remember who had the 5 grid penalty.
It was Tees. Tees will start last on the grid.
Oh no.
After crashing out in Q2, he was P10, but with that 5 place will be P15.
And Williams, who's looking very quick throughout Q2, he has found himself last. Haunted Curse, wishing everyone good luck. I reckon we're going to see a couple crashes going to the first corner, maybe.
Hopefully not, because there's only 15 drivers, so any more than 2 crashes could leave us with only point scorers.
That is very true. But
Everyone that's racing, stay safe, keep it clean, give other drivers room, please. We don't want any incidents that will end people's races.
Is there a formation lap today?
I think so, yes.
Alright. Yeah, Ifni's it seems happy with the P2 and P3 for Red Bull. And we do get a formation lap.
Drivers very unhappy that this track is in this week. They do not feel like it has any place in league racing anymore.
I am looking, and there are a lot of medium runners, as you would have suspected. But we've got Adman Trev in the Alpine and P4 on the softs. Zetu in the Aston Martin on hards, as well as Rob J. Lewis in P12.
I think that's smart, you know, because the soft runner, you can't imagine, would be able to make too many positions up here. Who's it? It's Adman Trev.
Adman Trev in P4.
I'm not sure if that is the best decision there.
Thing to do, yeah. But I quite rate the hard start there, because right at the start everyone's so compact and you will not get space to use your tyres properly.
Interesting tactic here by Tees as well. He's slowing down to let everyone else's tyres cool down on the grid so he can get a good launch at the start.
Yeah,
see
you
the
would
same
expect him
tactic being employed by Zetu here.
But there is a 10-car rule that you do not want to be.
I think the only driver currently breaking that is Haunted. But I think most
did not see that gap, yeah.
I think it is all looking good for now, though.
It will be fine, I'm sure. So we may be seeing Abman on a 2-stop here.
But as the Ferrari of Newlat on pole is almost slotting into his grid slot, the Williams of Tees is not even through the first of the 2 chicanes yet. As he goes through swimming pool now, Newlat is lining up on the grid, taking his position.
Time to get there though, just trying to waste as much time as possible. He's in there now, as Tees it's not even made his way around the last corner as of yet.
Niels does misplace his car, so does Rob J. Lewis.
As we see Tees slowly making his way to the slot now. Haunted Curse also.
Tees might be the one to watch here from the start. Tees and Adman Trev are the 2 to keep your eye on, because they're the 2 that's tyres are going to be the warmest. But Tees has ruined his chances there.
I think Adman will have quite a good start here, hopefully, for him.
We're going to ride on board here with the front runners, and we'll see what start Adman can get. As his lights out and away we go.
Slower, and he's pulled out there. As Niels is up his inside, does not get there.
Tees has already made up 5 positions into P10.
That was a phenomenal start there from Tees.
And Alvaro's hit the wall. Has he got damage?
It looks to be wheels, so I think he might be okay.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's any damage there.
Their way around to the hot tub chicane. Tyres goes down the inside.
And it's a great move there
And he's
by
made
the
it
Williams
stick.
driver.
That was phenomenal. The Tees has had a phenomenal start here in Monaco and has made his way up 5 positions.
As Cyclo's looking for a move down the outside here of Niels. He has to back out. There's not enough room to go too wide. Can he get a run on him anywhere here in the final sector? Obviously, it's very difficult to overtake, but
Adman seems to be struggling to keep up with the leaders here, even on them soft tyres. So
as Niels is in the wall. Niels is in the wall.
He needs to be careful of any cars.
He has
coming
got that
round.
back on track very safely though. He's waited for the opportunity.
Straight into the pit as well.
Must
So
have
be
damage. He hit it pretty hard.
Shaking this up. As I said, Tees has had the best start here he could have possibly hoped for.
And Fanthonius is right on the back of the leader here, Newlat.
Bad Boy Man seems to be struggling as well to keep up to the Mercedes in front of him in the Ferrari.
Niels comes out so far back now. He's got a good, big job to do here. He is out on the hard.
Fresh air that may help him a little bit just to gain that, well, not gain, but just hold himself within.
It's how quickly do those hards warm up is another big question to be answered here.
That is. I'm going to ride on board just to see if he's able to go flat out, or is he going to have to be pretty safe on this first lap.
Cyclo is now right on the back of Adman Trev, going round Raskas into the final corner. Can he get a better exit? Cyclo, well, Adman Trev is out of ERS on lap 3. Cyclo is down to 24%. Adman is still using. So
Cyclo is also still using to try and get by. He's now down to 8%. And he's really pushing for this position. Adman has struggled on these softs.
Oh, he's trying to go down the inside. He is going down the inside. They've touched. This is
tight.
Oh, they've hit. They've touched. Cyclo, has he got wing damage from that? He hit him pretty hard there.
I cannot see.
As we ride on board here with Cyclo, going through the tunnel, less than 5/10 behind a flashing Adman Trev.
His wing is still on. I do not know if it's got damage though.
Doesn't appear so, does it? But he is just driving much better here than Adman. Maybe those softs.
Tees is right up the back of the Ferrari of Bad Boy. Only had 2 temps splitting them.
What is going on with Bad Boy Man here? He got P2 last week in Spain before the penalties were applied. But this week he is struggling severely, and Tees is having to do as much as possible to avoid hitting him.
Tees is looking very, very quick. He's trying to use a little bit of ERS here.
Newlat's also starting to drop Fanthonius here. There's yellows. It's Sergio Silva. He's spun it in the final corner. He's in the wall. He needs to be careful of those drivers behind him here. He's now got a chance to reverse, but he's got to do a whole lap here with damage just to get back to the pits. Oh, is there damage? It doesn't appear there is actually. That's surprising because he did hit.
Wings are still on. Does not look.
No, it doesn't. That's a surprise because he did hit that with some force.
I'm going back to the battle between Tees and Bad Boy Man, which is a very close, but Tees will not be feeling the advantage of the DRS, as Bad Boy Man is now in.
Cyclo did get past Adman Trev, and I'm not sure where. We've missed that.
Oh wow. And he's built a bit of a gap to him as well already.
Those softs may be already starting to drop off for Adman Trev. Now what can... Oh, Bad Boy Man's hit the wall.
Bad Boy Man has hit the wall. This is Tees' chance. He is going for it and he's taking it.
That's a great overtake.
He's taking advantage of that mess up from Bad Boy Man. It was a quick reaction.
As Jake the Lad's also looking to get past Adman Trev here.
Adman Trev may have chose the wrong strategy here. He has hit the wall there ever so slightly. Jake the Lad will start to get frustrated being stuck behind him as he is losing plenty of time to his teammate in front. He's also got a train of drivers behind him now. T's coming up on the back of Jake the Lad, Bad Boy Man, and Alvaro catching slowly, but he is quite far behind.
I can't keep up with what's going on in the chat because Twitch is being a bit of a nightmare, duplicating every message on my phone.
Oh yeah, I was trying to read it, and yeah. I just talk about football. Oh, Ty did have a little snap there, but he has made a gap now to Bad Boy Man.
And he's on the back of Jake here, and Jake needs to get past Adman Trev very quickly because, as you say, Cyclo is up the road now, 2.5 seconds gone.
Nula has got a very big gap now of 2 seconds from Fanthonius.
And Ifni's running a very lonely race in third.
He is. He's lost quite a bit of time to his teammate. But with strategies around this track, we may see it closer later on in the race. Sergio Silva down in P13 has caught up to Haunted Curse. I'm sure he's going to be wanting to make this move as soon as possible after that mistake he's made. Oh!
And he's got it done.
Just hit the wall. And he's made it stick very quickly there. And without too much struggle. He's now hunting down Rob J with a 2-second gap, but he's going to close that up very quickly.
And T's looking like closing it. Oh, T's hit the wall. Not sure if there's any damage, maybe not. But T's is looking like catching up to Jake. Oh, and in comes Adman. Has he got damage or something? Or is the softs genuinely ran out after 7 laps?
T's does not seem to have
the softs have just run out. He's changed for mediums. This is a 2-stop strategy here for Adman Trev, which could lose him this race because overtaking is very difficult.
He does not want to be behind too many drivers now as he's coming out in front
P10.
of Rob J. Lewis, which is... Oh, Rob J is so far behind, I didn't realise.
Yeah, okay. Adman's got a lot of free room in front of him now. 5 seconds to Zetu.
He's got fresh air to catch up now.
And now T's very much so pressuring Jake the Lad, trying to get him to make an error.
He will feel the advantage of that DRS now, so if he can stay on the back of him, we may see the move on that start-finish.
T's
and he
right on the back
very close. He has got unbelievable pace.
He really knows how to push this Williams around this track. And around most tracks, in all fairness.
He is.
Oh, big snap of oversteer.
He seems... Well, I don't think he's going to make it now from the straight. Oh, his back end keeps disappearing.
One advantage Jake has got is he's got a lot more ERS here.
Yeah. Whereas a lot of, apart from the front three, a lot of the other drivers do not have much at all. Apart from Rob J's got quite a bit, but Sergio Silva is now right on the back of Rob J. Lewis and the Haas. And he's going to want to make this move. As Rob J does hit the wall, is he going to be able to make this move down the straight? If he gets a much better exit, I'm sure he can. He's using the ERS, open the DRS. He has the McLaren of Neil's behind him now and cannot make the move.
As Neil's now looking excited.
Sergio wants to make this move stick as quick as possible and get away from Rob J. Lewis, really, and get past him. And Niels will also be looking to get past him after the mistake from him.
Rob J. Lewis really holding them up here.
Has Rob pitted, or is he just...
No,
there?
I don't believe so. I believe he's about 3 seconds a lap slower than everyone else.
He is. Sergio Silva will be really pushing to get past him.
Yeah, but he's...
Oh, he's hit him!
Oh, and they've all hit. Niels has got quite an unfair penalty there, to be honest. Didn't really have much for us to go.
May have damage now. It doesn't. He's still got his wing, but
Doesn't look like either of them have damage, but Niels is right on the back of Sergio Silva.
Sergio just wants to get past him. He's probably getting frustrated now. Just waiting. It's a very hard track to overtake on. So Abman also now right up behind Zetu in the Aston Martin. On that 2 stop, so we'll have to be pushing to make those overtakes.
And Jake the Lad has crashed out of this race. Is that going to be a safety car now in sector 2? Jake was put under so much pressure by Tees. It was 3/10 between them, and he made the mistake that let Tees pass, and now has let the rest of the track pass.
I will not. If there's not a safety car, that is.
He's in the middle of the track, so it'd be surprising if there's not, but it doesn't look like there's going to be.
Oh, the car's gone. It's fine. They've sorted it. There is no safety car.
That is a big surprise. As Cyclo is now right on the back of Ifni.
Oh,
and Alvaro's crashed. Alvaro has crashed it on straight.
He's still in it, but he's just stuck.
Oh, and that might be rear wing damage after reversing into the wall. You hope for his sake there's not. Cyclo looking to get past Ifni here.
And Neil's still stuck behind Rob J. Rob J does have so much ERS compared to the likes of Sergio and Niels. Oh, and he's touched again. Sergio just keeps bonking the back of Rob.
And Ifni has hit the wall. And
Bad Boy Man and Haunted Curse.
Cyclo is trying to get the better exit hit onto the main straight. And he might have. The DRS is wide open. Can the Mercedes get the move done on the Honda powered Red Bull? No is the answer. Cyclo is pushing so hard. There's yellows in sector 2. Is that Sergio Silva, who's now dropped off the back of Niels and Rob? And it goes from bad to worse, Sergio Silva, because he's now getting blue flagged to get out of the way of Nila. The race leader is about to lap Sergio Silva in 12th.
Newlet would have been very happy for there not to be a safety car. Because he
needs to let him go. Sergio Silva is not getting out of the way. He will get a penalty for this if he doesn't react to these blue flags soon.
He is not moving. He is ruining the race for Newlet as Sanfinis is catching dramatically.
He's seen 4 blue flags here. He should have already been penalised. Why is he not moving out of the way? He finally does.
Awful. That is awful.
Sergio Silva has just done brilliant things for the Red Bull here, Fanthonius, in the sister team. And he lets Fanthonius go instantly.
That should have been a penalty.
Rob J. Lewis gets out of the way and you look just.
Oh, Rob J. Lewis is swerving and now it's just bumped off the curb and got out of the way. Quite lucky there.
Fanthonius now down to 1.3 the gap between him and Newlet.
Ifni's still quite far behind, but he's got a Cyclo right on his tail. T's running quite a lonely race now. As Bad Boy Man is 8 seconds behind him.
Niels also did get past Rob J. Lewis here and has cleared him by 5.5 seconds already.
As Sergio Silva has once again found himself stuck behind Rob J. Lewis. I'm sure he is getting very frustrated.
Cyclo must also be getting frustrated here, being stuck behind Ifni. Ifni very slow.
The Red
Sergio Silva is right on the back of Rob J. Lewis here, who's parking it on the apex of Raskas. That's hindered Sergio Silva's progress there.
Sergio will not be happy with this. Being stuck
it's
behind.
It's 4-0 to Napoli.
Liverpool have had a mare.
Zielinski scores his second.
Just stuck behind Ifni, but is completely out of the RS.
Sergio Silva now might be able to get this move done because Rob's wide. No, Sergio Silva needs to start getting aggressive here and start sending one because he's losing far too much time here behind Rob.
Cyclo is very low on ERS behind Ifney, but Ifney does have 70% still.
But if
So
he
if
doesn't
he
have
is
the same
carrying
cornering
that
pace here, the
advantage-
Cyclo does.
It is tight. But we are seeing Fantonius losing out a bit of time now to Nula after catching quite quickly with Sergio Silva holding him up. Will we see the move be made now by Sergio Silva's up his gearbox?
Cyclo's also going to get a good run here. Out of the final corner on Ifney. Is this where he can get it done? Ifney does have the ERS to use, which will keep him ahead here. Cyclo needs to stop, waste. Sergio Silva's hit the wall. He's round. Sergio Silva is round in sector 1. And he needs to hurry up and get out of the way here, because there are cars coming. And that's a reset to track.
That is not allowed. But Cyclo still right can't get past.
Oh, Ifney's hit the wall. There's still no damage for Ifney though. Oh, what a goal. Luis Diaz gets one back. It's 4-1.
I just took him out of my fantasy and all.
It's Champions League, mate. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I know, but if he starts finding goals, I'm going to be annoyed. Just in the Prem as well.
4-0 down to 4-4 would be an amazing comeback if they can do it.
That would be incredible. To be fair, if they can hold him at 4-1 and do one over at home, it'll be Liverpool. It'll be Liverpool Barcelona all over again, won't it? A Cyclone now on the gearbox of Ifney really pushed him along there, if anything.
But on the straight, Ifney just has so much more ERS. Fantonius comes out of the pits right ahead of these two. Fantonius has gone for the undercut here on Nula. Onto the hard tyres. Can he get a good enough warm-up lap to stay ahead of Nula after the pits? But this is going to slow Ifney down even more behind the cold-tired Fantonius.
Nula as well. We don't know what the state of Nula's tyres are. Will it force him to pit now, or will he go for that overcut and just stay out?
Cyclo's staying patient here, but maybe too patient. He needs to stop using ERS in places like here where he can't get past. He's just burnt 11% ERS and he's still using it. And it's a waste. He must have automatic on, you would imagine.
Yeah, that is not a place where you want to be using
because it. If he's using this, then
Rob J has now got a 3-second penalty added to his time. Abman catching Bad Boy Man.
Cyclo again, so close to Ifney, but the ERS just means that Ifney will stay ahead.
For a move? Oh no!
Can Cyclo get this? Cyclo going down the inside of turn 1. He's gonna have to dive it. He's not going to. There's yellow. Sergio Silva's round. He's in the wall again.
Has Haunted Curse just hit the back of?
Well, Bad Boy Man is in.
I think it's just picked up damage, maybe.
Bad Boy Man and T's are in the pits. T's is coming out now. Where's T's going to come out? It's going to be P6. Bad Boy Man picked up
some damage from Haunted Curse not getting out of the way as a lapped car. So the FIA will probably be having a look at that after the race. We do see Niels now in P9 after having that very early pit after the mistake. He does just have a little moment there, but he is almost a pit stop in front of Rob J now, who is in P10.
Cyclo's made a mistake, but he's kept it going there, to be fair. Very well done.
This is very good for Abman as well, Bad Boy pitting, because Abman was stuck behind and was much faster.
Fantonius does set a fast lap. Nula has pitted and has stayed out ahead.
But Fantonius is much closer now.
And he's in DRS. Which is the key point to be made there.
Will make very interesting.
But Nula has got much more ERS than Fantonius does, which, as we can see in this battle between Ifney and Cyclo, is the determining factor.
Yeah, Cyclo is still just using it whenever he feels like it. If
I
he's
think
slowly
it must be on automatic, and
going
if
down,
not, it's very
you
annoying
would
to
hope
watch.
so. You would hope so.
He's got a good run on Ifney here. Ifney looks to defend the inside. He just defends very well. Can Cyclo get it done here? Cyclo's going down the inside. It's not going to be enough though. Because whenever Ifney looks like conceding the place, he uses his ERS to keep it.
That is his advantage currently, but Cyclone is just absolutely on the back of him, not giving him any chance. If he makes any mistakes, Cyclone will be there. So they both go in the pit.
That's surprising. You'd have thought Cyclo would have stayed out one more lap there. Who can get out of the pits quicker? Cyclo has a slow start.
Pit. So we've got the same running order between these two, which is a very interesting battle. As Adman is making his way down the straight, will he get out in front of them? He gets out in front of Cyclo.
No,
not
quite.
No, just right behind him. But
in fact, he has now though.
On those fresh tyres, well, heated tyres, he has overtaken.
But Adman will need to pit again. But him being here between the two battling cars for P3
would have wanted at all. Will he try and make this move on Ifney with those well heated mediums, where these new hards could be still quite cold?
I think he's going to get it done. It needs to be now, but he's not looking good. Cyclo is losing the car everywhere. Cannot get tyres, temps into these hards.
Ifney seems to have quite a good understanding of how to get these hards up and has done pretty well, lapping Rob J. Lewis there. Oh, just having a little hit on the wall there. Has he got a yellow flag?
That's they're letting past. It was Haunted letting past the Ferrari and the Red Bull. But Fant is now right on the back of Newlight as well here.
This pit stop really shook things up, as we said it would. Ifney now making a gap between him and Cyclo, which was the battle we were all watching, as Cyclo finds himself stuck behind Adman now on quite old mediums.
And Ifney is just expanding his lead now. As Cyclo does go down the inside.
Cyclo going down the inside. It's very tight through there. Made a little bit of contact, but could not make the move. A very tight battle. Adman and Cyclo, neither of them really carrying an advantage with the ERS.
And now Tease is catching up to the back of them as well due to Adman slowing down Cyclo. Cyclo is going to go for the move here. Around the outside. He cuts back. They touch.
Not make it.
And that now, Tease is now so right in this battle.
Tease has had a phenomenal race. And he has not pitted. He has pitted.
He has.
So Tease is PS.
Oh, big snap there for Adman.
Adman will pit. Oh, Cyclo trying around the outside.
Adman dives into the pit.
Adman goes into the pit.
He has just lost so much time there for Cyclo.
T's now P5 from starting P14. This is a phenomenal race from the Williams driver.
It is so far. Cyclo's lost 3.8 seconds there behind Adman.
Penalties. So they're from 8th down to 13th, all of them on a 3-second penalty.
Fantonius is side by side with Newlat, going through the final corner. And he's got him. Fantonius, again, Sergio Silva has had a part to play in that. I don't know what's just happened there, but I think he has just blocked Newlat to allow Fantonius to get past.
You would expect of Newlat to
report
make the FIA have a little look at this now, but he will be pushing now to make sure he can get this position. Both very low on ERS. It will be a tight battle now for first. Ifney still continuing that 3.5 second gap to Cyclo. Bad Boy Man picking up another 3-second penalty, which hit the wall a little bit there. He seems to be struggling quite a lot now on these tyres, hards. 4-lap hold, so you would not expect that. Adman in P7 after his second pit stop. The closest battling track right now is P1, as Nulet now onto the main straight right behind Phantomus, but Phantomus has got beautiful straight line speed in that Red Bull, so the Ferrari will struggle to catch up to him. Everyone else out of DRS to any other driver.
Cyclo has gained 1 and a bit seconds on this lap alone to Ifni.
He seems to be on for his fastest lap of the race. I do not know who holds it currently.
Fast lap of the race is currently Fant with a 1:12.3.
Yeah, Cyclo was at 1:13, so not quite, but he has been putting in quite fast laps.
Cyclo also needs a safety car because his fuel is not looking good.
Oh, yeah, that isn't...
In fact, most people have underfueled.
I mean, you would expect a safety car here in Monaco.
You would, but there is only 16 laps left, and there hasn't been one yet.
Let's not hope for one, because I did not.
I'm not hoping for one, but if there isn't one, we may see someone like Adman Trev, who's overfueled his car a lot, gain a lot of positions. As Ifni is 4.4 laps under currently.
Cyclo is in DRS.
Gets past Zetu.
Quite.
Ifni seems to be making a lot of mistakes in front.
Cyclo now on the back of Ifni again.
He caught that 3.8 seconds so fast. It just shows the pace difference, but you just can't get ahead. Yeah,
it'll be very interesting to see how this ends, because Ifni does have the advantage on ERS again, which he also has the advantage in the Red Bull in a straight line already compared to the Mercedes.
If Cyclo wants this move done, he's going to need to throw one down the inside at a corner.
He will. Where and will he? Yeah. Neil's now moving up above Zetu. That's because Zetu has pitted.
Let's not forget, if he has ended Cyclo's race before this season, in Miami, Cyclo was on for very good points when Ifni accidentally put Cyclo into the wall.
Will we see a repeat of Miami? Let's really hope not. Let's see some clean racing. Hope Cyclo.
That might explain why Cyclo is so hesitant to even make an attempt at a move.
But Ty's not that far behind anymore and seems to be catching these two now. It's only 3.9 and it keeps going down, so we may see him join the battle in a few laps if it continues. Zetu on fresh mediums as well. After starting
Cyclo is so close. Is he going to set one down the inside? He thinks about it for a moment, but he decides against it.
It's a very, very close battle here between the Red Bull and the Mercedes. Nulet's still just hanging on to the DRS of Fanthonius in P1. Fanthonius also carrying a lot more ERS and that straight line speed over the Ferrari in the Red Bull. Oh, this is much closer. As Cyclo is going looking around the outside.
Got no ERS.
If it go onto the straight, Can anything be done?
Not quite going to get it done here. See, when he gets that close, he needs to just brake later into the corner and down the inside. Otherwise, he's not going to get this done.
The Red Bull is just so quick in a straight line compared to the Mercedes. And the ERS usage, got to say, is a lot smarter from Ifney. Hoping Cyclo has a bot, the AI doing it. Oh, that's a yellow flag.
It's just the Williams letting each other go.
Ah.
That's yellow though, that's Niels. Niels is in the wall, he's reset to track again.
Does he know he's not allowed? That will result. He does have 22 lap old hards on, because he did have that spin right at the start. Is he going to push to the end? He does have a big enough gap to pit and still stay 9th over Alvaro.
That's true. Is Ifney going to make a big enough mistake this race to allow Cyclo to pass?
Or will we see Cyclo dive one down the inside? Which it does not look like we're going to see currently. And so if Ifney keeps it and just does what he's doing, he's keeping Cyclo behind quite nicely.
Cyclo taps the wall there. No damage.
There is no close. Oh, Nula is very close to Fanthonius going into this straight here. But Red Bull does just have that straight line advantage.
And Fant's got 75% ERS. Very impressive this late in the race to have that much.
A very similar situation here as we are seeing in 3rd and 4th. The Red Bull leading and just being able to keep him away from that straight line speed. Sergio Silva has had an enormous part to play in this race. Back from 11th.
We need to see what actually happened there, because when I switched over to Nulat's POV, he did have Sergio Silva directly in front of him, blocking him around the final corner as Fant took the inside line.
Which, the first time we did see him miss 4 blue flags, which you're also not allowed.
There will be an inquiry into that after the race.
But yes, the two closest battles are for P1 and for P3, both currently being led by the Red Bulls.
Rob J. Lewis does well to get out of the way there of both cars.
To be fair to Rob J, he has had quite a good race just moving out of the way for people. It's not caused many problems at all, apart from for Sergio Silva, that he held him behind very well.
Bad Boy Man in P7 has just been lapped by the 2 leaders.
A Ferrari being lapped is not something you would usually see.
Just shows the pace here of Fant and Nulat, who are 40 seconds clear of Ifney in P3 in the second Red Bull.
Is a difference, quite a big one as well. The Mercedes teammate is out of the race with Jake the Lad, and we see the 2 Red Bulls in 1st and 3rd, which is a good showing from the Red Bulls here.
Unfortunately for Cyclo, as long as he's got the AI doing his ERS, he will not succeed.
Yeah, he will struggle very much
because
to get past.
He has got nothing left, whereas Ifney has done really well conserving it all race.
You do see T's now very close.
1.8. There's yellows. They've collided. The leaders have collided.
The leader.
As Fant's in the wall,
has got away.
He's had to reset the track. Oh no!
We will have to see what happened there after the race, but we now find
Bad Boy Man also got damage from that collision after just being lapped.
Has made his way into the
onto the softs.
Has Fanthonus or Nulat got damage from that? It does not look like it.
Fant does not, and neither does Nulat. No, both lucky to escape there.
But Cyclo also very close in the same place. Just gone wide and lost his back end there. does not. He needs to go make an aggressive move, really.
Yeah. We've been saying it all race, but it's just not on for him here unless he gets very aggressive.
And without that ERS, it's very
It's going to need to be a
for
move into a very tight corner like this one coming up here. If he was to send one down the inside, if he was a bit closer. Or into the hairpin that follows. As he does hit the wall with his rear.
It does, yeah.
If he
now in the
almost
DRS.
lost that car.
Tease is now in the DRS of Cyclo, so he is taking advantage of this and is catching up. Oh, yellow.
Letting cars go. It was haunted, letting the car go.
This is a three-way battle now for third.
Cyclo is so close to Ifney here.
Up. Oh, is he going to send it? Oh, it's very tight.
Ifney has to leave in the room. Cyclo with the switchback and with DRS. But look at the straight line speed with ERS here from the Red Bull. It was the closest Cyclo's been all race.
Just hoping for a mistake here from either of them.
Is this lap car going to be an issue here? In front of these two. As Cyclo is so close. He's almost touched the back of the Red Bull there. The pressure that Ifney is going to be under here. Cyclo sends one down the inside.
He has left the space.
Oh, his rear.
Just his back end just does not seem to want to stay with him.
Cyclo is putting a lot of pressure on Ifney here. This is what he's needed to do all race.
And they are catching up now to the back marker of Mills in P9. Or who is on fresh mediums, so could cause some problems just being there. And
Ifney's so close to the wall.
We'll maybe give Ifney the DRS just for safety purposes over Cyclo.
Cyclo is so much quicker through this sector. As you can see, Ifney is losing it everywhere. As Cyclo hits the back of Ifney, because Ifney has to brake so much earlier than the Mercedes. And all the while,
just sat behind.
Tease is loving this, because if these two were to crash, he would gain 2 positions and put him up to P3, sorry, in a Williams. Cyclo looking for a way past, and there is just no way.
Cyclo seems to be applying a lot more pressure now onto Ifney, sorry. Just he must be getting fed up, stuck behind, seeing the Red Bull all race.
This is the typical Monaco race. This is why the drivers didn't want to race it today. It's why they want it off the calendar. It's because the lack of racing that we're seeing. The only on-track overtakes we've seen have been lapped cars and crashes. Ifney gets 3 seconds. That's big.
That is huge now for Cyclo.
And Tease.
Tease, yeah. Tease is very close to this battle now as well. Really trying to just wait and pick up these scraps is probably what's going through his mind. But Cyclo still just wants to get in front. That's a giant snap of oversteer there.
Tease is just too far back there to make anything of this.
I think Tease may also have the ERS done by bots, as they're going off in the same position.
Potentially.
Cyclo and Tease.
Essentially, they've just turned it on for this race, because I know applying ERS does make you lose the rear end around Monaco quite a bit.
Yeah, and it is a track where you need to be fully concentrated. This is
Tease now, though, is right in the back of Cyclo.
3 of these drivers. Not even a second between them from Ifney to Tease. Go through the tunnel. Cyclo very close. Tease there behind. Cyclo just keeps bonking the back of that Red Bull just by sheer just being faster through the corners. Fabulous making his way past the lapped Alvaro now.
Cyclo's so close again. As Ifney hits the wall.
That's a mistake. He just can't
Ifney!
on it.
He slides.
This could be
Cyclone might get this here. The Alpha Tauri causing chaos again.
The Albert out, he's just always been there. He finds his way. But that penalty for Ifney will play a big part. Sector 3.
It's Rob J. Lewis getting out of the way of Adman. Here is the chance for the Mercedes, but his rear end loses it again. Cyclo does send one down the inside.
Oh,
They're side by side.
He's going
Go through the hairpin.
outside.
He goes for the
switch
cut
back.
pack. Oh, it's just good driving from Ifney.
Ifney is doing very well here to hold him off. He's got that ERS advantage, and he is making the most of it in that Red Bull.
Can Cyclo do anything here out of the tunnel?
Will Cyclo go for a dive? He's very close. He does not. It is not a place where you want to be going for an overtake down that chicane. It is tight enough as it is with one car. Tease is just sitting there.
Waiting so patiently.
He knows he's already out of his depth for being in a Williams, but there's much more to come from this race, hopefully for him.
As you said earlier, Cyclo just pushing it along the Red Bull, and the Red Bull was able to just use the ERS to just fly away from the Mercedes.
Cyclo is being much more aggressive than we saw earlier.
He's only got 6 laps to do this.
He is trying to force that mistake. This is very intense here. Oh, that's a much better. You see him getting such better exits.
And he's
go
gone
down the inside again.
He's got
Will
it.
he make it stick this time? Ah, there's contact. There's contact.
I think if he was pushed into the wall there, but
he does make the move stick.
Finally, Cyclo does get past.
You definitely heard a sigh of relief there coming out of Cyclo if you were there. He does make the move stick now as Zesu does pick up a 3-second penalty.
Even though Cyclo would have got that position due to the penalty, it must have been a much nicer feeling to get it done on track.
Tease now running behind Ifney. He has had a snap of oversteer through that chicane.
But now there's a
lost
faster driver in the lead. T is going to have to work even harder to stick with these faster cars now.
But he does know that Ifney's got a penalty, so that will be playing on his mind to be aggressive or not to be. Oh, Ifney goes wide.
And we know how good the Mercedes engine is this season in the Williams. They've been the fastest car on track.
Just cannot make that move.
There's 5 laps left of this race.
The back now of the Red Bull, sorry, of Ifney. As Cyclo has already pulled a second gap, so he's clear of the DRS. Fanthelis just outside the DRS of Nula for that battle for first.
There is going to be a busy night for the stewards tonight.
The back of Bad Boy Man, who's on 6 lap old softs, and we saw earlier Adman
got more penalties
after
though.
7. I don't know.
No, they both got 6 seconds.
Both on 6, so this is a battle for position here on track.
It is.
Which we do like to see. Tyres has come up 9 positions from the back of the grid.
And it will be 10 after the penalty is applied to Ifney.
That's if he can hang on the back, which looks like he can.
Because Ifney is
right
struggling.
Up the back. Will he make the move? Will Tyres be able to make the move on this straight? We have seen struggling from Cyclo.
Oh,
that's a huge snap. That is a huge snap and has lost him a lot of time there.
Bad Boy Man pits.
Yeah, those softs just go off so quick. He's only lost 1 position there though, so
that does mean Niels will take the position before he'll keep P8. Bad Boy Man probably could have stayed in the lead of them there.
We might be seeing Bad Boy Man going for a fastest lap, and that is why he's given up the position, which does not fully make sense. We've got a yellow flag and
was letting past the league, the race leaders. The race leaders have lapped all the way past 6th, which is a phenomenal achievement.
Unbelievable pace. Cyclo has made a 2.5 second gap now to Ifney, as Tease is still right up the back of that Red Bull. If Tees can just stay within 3 seconds, he does get the position anyway.
But he'll want to do this on track. I'm not sure he's going to be able... Fantonis retired! Fantonis is out!
I can't see it.
It's exactly the same place where Jake retired and the same place that Neil's retired in quali.
Alvaro will be going past him next, so you can see what happened. That is a shocking. He's just just in the middle.
Hit the wall, bounce back out.
Once again, no safety car. This could leave Tees for a chance at a podium if he can just stay within 3 seconds of Ifney here within this last lap and a half.
And Cyclo
lap and a half, and
is about to take P2. There we go, Cyclo up into P2, Ifney up to P3. Oh my god,
Tees is so close to this Red Bull. It's like Cyclo all over again. He's pushing the back of him through that chicane, and then he just can't use his pace. Tees now. He must be happy, knowing that he's in a shot here for a podium in that Williams.
It's 11 places as well.
It's another snap there of oversteer.
Haunted Curse lets them both go there. I thought Haunted Curse might play a sneaky trick there for 1 or 2 blue flags, but he hasn't. He's done nicely to get out of the way.
He's done quite well there. Zetu.
What has just happened there? Ifney has just
hit the wall.
Tees has got damage. Tees has got damage.
Why is... I'm so confused.
Ifney tried letting Tees go. I'm not too sure why. Ifney's out of fuel! Ifney's got no fuel!
Oh wow.
Ifney has ran out of fuel.
This is a shocker for a Red Bull, who are looking on for very good points here. Both drivers may not finish the race. It does not look like Ifney will be able to make it around another lap after this.
He is the only driver to have underfueled. Except from Cyclo. Cyclo has got... Well, Cyclo will be alright. Cyclo will be fine.
Cyclo's got 1 lap left. He's going to have to do a bit of lifting.
Yeah, he'll be alright.
Last lap, but he'll be fine.
Ifney is so slow. There's only 1 lap left.
Also got 1.5 left. Ifney, it says 0.0. This is not good for the Red Bulls. Adman is gaining extremely quickly.
Where
Ifney
will this Red Bull
slow.
of Ifney finish?
If he does finish, he has to make it around the track 1 last time.
Yes, Chugs. William on the podium. Tees has raced a phenomenal race. And Newlat does cross the line to take P1. Adman crosses the line.
Adman's done now, so if he does get P4...
Ifney gets saved by the fact Adman had been lapped by Newlat. That is incredible. Ifney will keep P4.
Tees is now just making his way through. He's let the Ferrari go. Oh, bad boy man on his soft tyres, just to let him go.
No, that was...
He is very low on...
Bad boy man is going through the final sector. That was the race winner, Newlat.
So here we are. Cyclo will cross the line in P2. Good race.
Tees, who raced a phenomenal race, will come home in P3 for the Williams. His second podium of the season. Started dead last.
He's gone up 11 positions there. That is phenomenal, honestly. Ifney still slowly making his way around.
Ifney, with no fuel on board, will cross the line to somehow keep P4.
How he even made it to the line baffles me, but fair enough to him. He has kept his P4.
Right, that is well done, Rob, on finishing. You did. That's a good achievement, mate. It's very difficult to finish a race in Monaco.
Oh, I don't think I could, to be honest.
Need to invite the
drivers.
podium sitters to the party for interviews. That was T's,
Nuala and
Nuala,
Cycler.
Cyclo, and T's.
Do you want to give the driver of the day this week?
No, because I feel like it's very obvious, and I don't know about you, but I think it's got to go to T's, doesn't it?
I can't. Yeah, it's got to go. Yeah, I agree fully. That's the only person I could think of.
From
Last.
P15 to P3.
That is phenomenal. And in the Williams. You can't even understand. That is phenomenal.
T's as well.
That was amazing.
Right, I've invited everyone to the party.
But as we see, the Red Bull had a crash at the end, which was not good for them, and also ran out of fuel. So the Red Bull had a bit of an upset. The Williams did amazing. The Mercedes also had Jake the Lad crash out, which is another upset for them, as they were looking very strong. And Bad Boy Man just could not keep up with the pace in that Ferrari. As his teammate does win the Monaco Grand Prix.
Cyclo can't make it for an interview.
We have T's here, and we need Nuala as well.
Is he gonna join? There he is. Right, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Nuala is your race winner. Cyclo P2. T's, after driving a phenomenal race in the Williams, P3. Ifney P4 after running out of fuel with a lap and a half to go. Somehow getting extremely lucky that Adman Trevor had been lapped. So kept P4. Right, let's start with T's. P3 on the podium. How are you feeling after that one, mate?
Yeah, good. I needed that, to be honest.
First podium since Australia, correct?
Yeah.
That is, well, 2 podiums in any season for a Williams is phenomenal. You've done it in the first 7 races.
Yeah, it's great.
You were so much faster than Nifty today, and you probably were faster than Cyclo as well. How were you so fast in such a box like the Williams?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel quite comfortable with the car. I already felt it in Australia, and the car is quite good in slow corners. In high-speed corners it's terrible, but in slow corners it's quite good.
Noticing your ERS was depleting at around the same speed as Cyclo's. Is yours on auto, or were you doing that?
Sorry?
Your ERS deployment,
Yeah.
is that on auto or is that manual for you?
Oh no, manual.
Manual, okay, because you were using it in the same places that Cyclo was, and
Oh.
we think he was on auto.
No, I'm on manual.
Well, congratulations, Tees. That was a phenomenal drive. You were our driver of the day as well.
Yeah, thank you.
P14 to P3. You couldn't have done a better job, mate. Well done.
No, thank you.
And your race winner, Nuala. How are you doing, mate?
Of course, I'm doing great. I got to win in Monaco, so couldn't be more happy
Congratulations.
with that. But yeah, it was a not so exciting race, but also had some exciting moments for me actually. But
Well, we've got to address the obvious. What happened between you and Fanthonius in Raskas?
nothing really. He just spun before me,
Oh,
or he lost the car, and I couldn't go anywhere, so he was already sideways when I hit him, and yeah, I was just trying to get on with the race, but there was no contact or anything before he spun. So
okay. And did Sergio Silva play a part in the first overtake?
yeah, that was what I was going to get about to, because yeah, it made the back markers made my race a bit harder. On the first stint on the mediums, I was leading by some seconds, but then again I met an AlphaTauri who held me up, and yeah, me or Fantonius got back in my DRS again, and then when on the second stint, I also get held up a bit in sector 3, and I had to take avoiding action of the AlphaTauri, and Milan took his opportunity. So it was
Well,
quite sad seeing that 2 times I got held up massively by back markers, but it is what it is.
well, you still, even getting through that adversity, you drove a fantastic race today, mate. You thoroughly deserved that win. And hopefully you can
Thank you.
start closing in that gap now to Banter Brandon to make this a closer title fight.
I really hope so.
Well done, mate.
Congratulations on your race win today, mate.
Thank you.
Have you got anything to add, Oren?
No, he just drove really well all race. So well done. Good pace.
Thank you.
Right, thank you very much. New lap. Right, that will conclude round 7 in RPL. A brilliant 25 points for New lap, really capitalising on Banter Brandon not being here tonight. And hopefully it's going to make a more interesting title fight going later on to the season. Thank you everyone for tuning in, and we will see you next week for I don't know what track it is next week.
And neither do I.
Next week is, I want to say France.
Azerbaijan.
Azerbaijan, Baku. We'll see you in
Sprint
Baku for a
race.
sprint race.
Be
So
very
you
interesting.
don't want to miss that. Driver of the day, once again, goes to Tees. Congratulations to him and Newlat and Cyclo for the podium. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next week.